Welcome back to another video. My name is Tatiana, also known as your awkward gamer, and today I'm going to be sharing with you some games I've been playing recently. Now they're kind of all over the place and the genres are all very different, and I just kind of want to share it with you. I did actually let this decision of what the next video would be up to you guys. I put a poll in the community tab, so be sure to check that. I do often put some ask you guys questions and get polls and get your opinions on things in there and give you updates about stuff going on with me. Thank you so much for your support and for waiting for this video to come out. And without further ado, let's jump into the games, because there's not a lot, but there's a few, and I'd like to talk especially about this one I've been really addicted to. No, we'll get to that one. We'll get to that one. Ignore that one for now. The first one I want to talk about is Shadows of Doubt. Now, this game is in early access, but if you're a crime junkie or you enjoy solving mysteries, you're going to like this game, and that means you're a little bit like me, because I really do love to solve mysteries. I love getting all the facts, and that's exactly what this game kind of presents for us. It's an immersive sandbox detective stealth game set in a fully simulated sci-fi noir city of crime and corruption. Think like a private investigator and take on jobs to earn cash on your path to catching a serial killer. If you don't catch them, they'll kill again. So not only are you catching serial killers and finding clues, you can do a bunch of other jobs. In fact, to make any money and earn reputation, which is the goal of the game, earn enough reputation so you can retire into a nice, wealthy retirement home, and you don't have to be doing the detective thing anymore. You basically are taking jobs, anything from destroying someone's property, kind of anonymous jobs, some secret jobs. You could take on something where you're looking for corruption in a company. You got to get all the clues and the names and find the people. Murders, a murder will generate every little bit. So between these huge murder cases that you end up taking on, you also can do all these other smaller kind of like jobs and stuff to keep your reputation building and to keep your cash flow, because you do need the cash. The best thing I love about this game is that no matter how many times I do a case, they're all different because you're constantly finding new information on people. Another really cool thing about this game is the fingerprint system. Every single NPC that is generated has a fingerprint that is individual to them. They're all different. No one's fingerprint's the same. So when you scan for things like fingerprints, which is how I actually solved my last case, there's a fingerprint on a paper that belonged to the killer, but all the other fingerprints in the building belong to either the victim or the victim's partner, which is why I thought it was the partner. So that's why I investigated them. I'm sorry. I didn't know who it was. But even though I spent an hour doing that, entire dead end investigating it, I was still having a great time trying to rack my brain, figure out the puzzle. Who did this? Why did they do this? Reading emails, breaking into places. So much fun. It's so much fun. And the fact that this is an early access, it, will have bugs. It does have issues. They have been patching, the team has regularly been working on it. They plan to bring a lot of content. I think they released a mini roadmap, and they said even more content could be after that. It has very positive reviews on Steam so far. And honestly, it's one of my favorite games that has been released this year, and it's in early access. This is a ton of fun. If you want to play on the Steam Deck, I have played it on the Steam Deck. It's a little rough. The controller support in general is really rough. It kind of was built for a keyboard and mouse. I think they said they are going to try and fix it a little more for gamepad support. With the Steam Deck, you can kind of get away with a mouse and stuff. This is actually the profile, I'll throw it up on screen, that I've been using for the Steam Deck. As far as I know, that was the best one, and there could be one that might be better for you. It is a little bit rough. I would actually recommend playing it on a PC at this time, or with a keyboard and mouse if you have a Steam Deck, and then, go from there. But yeah, definitely it's one of my favorites. I have loved this game. When I'm gonna play this game, I'm like, yo, I have 3 hours. We're gonna sit and try and solve some crime, or maybe even do some crime. Not gonna lie, maybe even do some crime. But it's a great game. I recommend checking out. All the links for all of these games will be in the description or the pinned comment down below, and the pinned comment down below, so you can have access to these games and check them out and get them, or wait for sales, whatever you want. Just check these games out because they're kind of fun. I've been addicted to them. The next game we're going to talk about is, yes, the one I am absolutely the most addicted to, Tears of the Kingdom. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is kind of the follow-up to Breath of the Wild. They're supposed to be in the same linear story. Now, I've not finished this game because this game is huge. When I thought I had only played 10 hours, I ended up playing 50 hours in the first week. And that was a lot for me because That's a lot of hours. I played the game a lot the first week to really get into it. There's some things I don't love about this game, like the story I'm finding kind of weak. I'm not done, and no spoilers if you spoil, bro. It's good. I think it looks okay considering it's on the Switch and it's going to be a bit rough. It's okay. I really like the exploration and solving the mystery, and this one kind of has more of a mystery in its story. I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody. It's super fun because, like, I mean, if you like Breath of the Wild, you're probably going to like this. And some people I know were trying to play this even though they didn't like Breath of the Wild. You're probably not going to like this if you didn't like Breath of the Wild, but if you didn't like the exploration in the first one, you're not going to like this one. If you didn't like how certain puzzles worked, you're not going to like this one. Like, they're similar in those ways, right? There are different games, have different mechanics. The building mechanic is one I'm sure you've seen. I personally don't love it. I don't love this building mechanic. I just use it to get things done, but I would opt to not have it if I could. It's not because it's a bad mechanic. It's just for me in fantasy, like, adventure games in this way, it just feels really weird to me and out of place. I've gotten more used to it, and I've built some, you know, just contraptions to fly. I haven't gone really wild. Some people built some really cool stuff, and I'm so happy they've been enjoying it that way. So I'm kind of focusing on just finishing the main story, and all the side quests I'll kind of do over time, because honestly, the first time when I played Breath of the Wild, that game took me like a year and a half. I wasn't on social media. I wasn't doing no YouTube. You know, there wasn't a ton of games coming out I was so excited for. So I took a really long time to play that game, and that's kind of what I want to do with this one. I want to finish the story just so I don't get spoiled. Just gonna finish that and move on, but I love it because I loved the first one, and I've been enjoying it because it's like this very nostalgic in that same way. But, you know, there are things I'm not, you know, some people are saying it's the greatest game of all time, and I'm glad if you think that you're playing a game you feel is that amazing. I hope you're having the best time ever. Not the best game of all time, in my opinion, but I really love it still. So, you know, don't come for me because I still love it. I really do, and I have been addicted to it. Between that and Shadows of Doubt, that's the main games that I've been playing recently, and I will leave a link for that down below. Obviously, it's not a Steam link. It'll be linked to the Nintendo, I think, like the online store or whatever, but you know how to get it. You know how to get your Nintendo stuff, but I will still leave a link for you if you want to look into it some more. But it's definitely interesting, and it's definitely nice to be back in this version of Hyrule, even though it's changed a little bit, and I'm having a good time with it. So those are the two games I'm the most excited for, and now we're gonna get into some that really just help me relax and calm down. Papa's Freezeria Deluxe. Now, some of you actually might recognize this game because it was available just like as a flash game online a long time ago, like I'm talking a long. Some of you guys now know my age because I was a child and I was playing this game. This is nostalgic for me, and I found out that this has been re-released as Deluxe, like not a re-release, even like a brand new version of this game, updated, new animations, new art, new like mechanics for the game. It has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam because it was amazing the first time, and now the Deluxe being added in, all the extra content they've added makes it just incredible. And I truly hope that Flipline Studios, the publisher and developer of this game, continue to bring more of their games to Steam because I think they will continue to do really well. Papa's Freezeria was like a really big one. Everyone really loved this game. You basically run a shop on Calypso Island, serve seasonal Sunday treats, and you basically craft all these different desserts and earn tips, and you can basically play mini games and just run. You basically are just running an ice cream shop, and it's super fun and amazing and so relaxing. You actually can play this on a Steam Deck. I have a Steam Deck and I've been playing it on there. I just had to do some mapping so the cursor, like the trackpad, worked like a cursor. It was kind of difficult with the sticks, but I'm sure you could figure out, you know, the sensitivity on the sticks to make it work. I just decided to do the trackpad because I'm so, like, I love the trackpads. I thought I wouldn't like them on the Steam Deck. I absolutely couldn't imagine having a portable device, a portable PC without the trackpads. It would feel weird to me. It works okay. It's definitely something you're gonna have to get used to. It's a little difficult for me sometimes to control this, like make the Sundays perfect, because I'm a little bit OCD about how perfect my Sundays are. I want 100% scores every time. And so because of that learning curve, it was a little difficult in the beginning, but I've definitely gotten the hang of it and it's much more fun. And I can now bring Papa's Freezeria Deluxe with me anywhere I go. I just love it. Love it. And so I literally play it all the time, my sister and I. It's just like that really cozy, relaxing game and nostalgic that I come back to. I absolutely love it. So the next game, actually, that somehow I find a little bit cozy, and I honestly played this game multiple times throughout my day, probably for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes at a time, is Marvel Snap. This game's actually so much fun. I've never played a card game, so I'm super new to it. I know there's games like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or even like Pokemon, like a card game. I know some people have like an online version they play. I've never really played those as games. Like I've collected Pokemon cards, but I've never played the game. Marvel Snap, because I like superheroes, I like Marvel, I've read a lot of comic books. I was like, this looks kind of interesting, and it looked simple enough. I thought I would be able to understand it, because sometimes I'm watching people play the Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, what is going on? But this I kind of understood. It's kind of a very simple card game, but very fun and honestly really addictive. And sometimes I gotta keep my emotions in check. As calm as I say I am, sometimes people get me mad because they're emoting. You guys know that Miss Marvel emote. That gets me mad. It gets me mad. But I have collected a lot of cards. I actually played this, I think, within the first month of its release. It's free to download, so you can download it anywhere. And it's so fun. It does have microtransactions in the game, basically to get cards or looks. But honestly, I have bought some of the, like, essentially battle passes or season passes just so you get some more cards or stuff. But honestly, it's not like you're getting brand new cards. You're kind of just getting different looks for cards, as far as I remember, unless it's like the special card for the whole set. Like Nebula was one. You know, you don't have to pay to play necessarily. You can earn it, just you kind of have to play pretty regularly and finish your like daily tasks, and you'll be able to earn things without paying. So it's really fun. You can assemble a bunch of cards. They all can fight each other essentially. There's different locations that will change how your game plays, and I just find it to be really fun. You can snap, which is like the whole thing about the game, and that's basically like gambling the amount of rank you have. So you can be like, oh, I'll challenge you 4 because I know I'm gonna win, right? So I'll challenge you 4 levels of the rank, and they could be like snap back and go, yeah, well, I'll raise it to another 4, so a total of 8, then I'll win. And then if you lose all 8, or you lose all 4, or you gain 8 or gain 4, kind of like that. So you're kind of competing back and forth, but it's free. I mean, if it's free, you can check it out, and then if you don't like it, you can always just delete it. But I found it to be a lot of fun, and actually probably the most consistent game I've played in the past like 6 or so months, however long it's been out, just because I can just play it waiting to pick up someone, you know, outside for 10 minutes. I can, you know, you can play it in such short intervals that I just pick it up on my phone and play it a lot. And the fact you can also play on your PC on Steam, and your like save would transfer both ways is fantastic. So I could open up on my computer and play it and like vibe, and then open it up on the phone somewhere else and everything's the same. It's really awesome. So definitely check out Marvel Snap if you're interested in kind of like a battle card game that's a little different and maybe a little more simple than some other ones you've seen, because some of them, I'm telling you, like, I can't do the other ones. I'm not smart enough. Those are the games that I've been playing and enjoying, and playing kind of on and off for the past probably month or so. And I've had a lot of fun playing these games. They're all very different. Like when you look at them, they're all very different games from each other. And I think that's what I like about it, is having multiple choices, and I'm in different moods. I can play different games. Thank you so much for keeping comments positive and kind as always, and sharing your love of gaming together down below. I'd love to read your comments and thoughts on some of these games if you're interested in them, or on games coming out. And yeah, thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, or night. Remember to stay safe, hug your loved ones, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!